From sketch, vector, color, hold up, that's a video for later. But here's a process on how to get this. Let's go! So drop your sketch into Adobe Illustrator, then sketch over your sketch in the layer above. At this point, feel free to make any modifications to your original sketch from paper onto Illustrator. Then let's move into inking. With your calligraphy brush, you want to draw over your sketch. Yep, just like how you see demonstrated. Modifying with your thickness and pressure will result in a more dynamic drawing, and that's what you want. And then fill in with the black pencil. You can fill in some black areas, and yes, that again adds into looking more dynamic. Then let's flip this, but I actually have to say we flipped it too soon, but let's go ahead. Flip this, add a base color on the background and merge everything together. And then on the layer in between the sketch and the color underneath, let's add some shades. Not glasses, I mean like shades, like, you know, coloring. Okay, here's a way to do it slowly. And how we can actually half this, well, with the Pathfinder tool, make a shape and put it exactly at halfway and select both and subtract front, and that helps you to keep things aligned halfway only. But continue adding shade and more dynamism, if that's even a word. And we apply this in most cases relevant, most places where you would have such, well, create them. If you have to use your imagination, feel free, that's what this is about, you know. But to make things simpler, let's move into gray. Let's tone everything dark and add a second layer of shade, and this goes on the layer underneath the first shade. You want to use those layers because it helps out a lot, and feel free to go crazy and make it look all dramatic. At this point, I'm gonna cut everything that I made. This is why I said I flipped it too soon. But cut everything in half so that we actually only have half a drawing, and then we're gonna duplicate the layer and flip it around. Well, this is a layer. Hide that layer underneath, and now take what we have and just duplicate it. You can either use like the Ctrl+C, or like how we did earlier with using the repeat button to reflect it. There we go, and you just merge it. And now we're gonna move into color. Select your base color and then select a shade, color those in and have proper colors. But now it looks a bit flat, so let's change things around. Gave the bottom parts orange, and I was like, okay, actually feeling that. But now this is the coloring process where we're diving deep into this video, where we're just gonna play around with colors and actually say, okay, what looks nice, what feels good, move around back and forth with the shades. And here I dabbled a lot between the orange and the green to have like a feel, but the placement of this is where we say we want it to look nice. And I wanted the eyes to stand out, the bottom part of the owl with the crown to merge, as well as right above the eyes, around the eyes, and what looks like a mouth, which is not a mouth, it's part of the whole owl drawing itself. If you ask me, this drawing has a body and a mouth and all of that. No, that is not a mouth opening or anything. It's just it looking dynamic. Yes, I might use that word a lot. Let me not overabuse it. But either way, at this point, I'm just taking the shades, identifying them, and saying, okay, which parts can look orange, which parts can look a different color. I don't select parts that harmonize together to make it look separate instead of the whole drawing looking all flat. That part was too black and I was like, no, it's not working. So let's move forward in getting a proper shade for this one, and I can get a line that no, it's too dark underneath, it's not gonna match. But hey, that orange worked. Let's do this with this color, with this shade. This is why making it gray in the first part helped, because it helped us understand the depth, and then now we just change the colors between these things. We just select a part, select them all together if need be, and change the depth. And now I know that orange or yellow and blue is quite a good color palette. So I had this idea, but I started in the eyes too soon, and so I was like, okay, let's play around with the eyes, and I'm like, we're getting somewhere. But I'm like, the orange and the green looks like something like nature wise, which is cool. But yet I'm a person who loves blue, so let's put this into test. Grabbed the shades around the eyes on the top part and the bottom part and made them blue. And I'm like, okay, this is actually looking pretty good. This is looking good. It's like going somewhere, but I can't make that center, that part is way too dark, so I have to increase it and variate your shades properly. Just mix between. And then the eyes were blending in too much, so I want to make those pop, because they can't fall without, they can't sink in with the background. And let's continue color picking, and we just eye drop from the colors that we used around. And here we go, we have a drawing. Simple, right? If this is too fast, feel free to say, okay, we can have a slow video. This is us working between a background that, but the background doesn't matter too much. This is just a quick run through of the process of going through this. Like I said, if you need anything slower, feel free to mention it in the comments below. And if you feel like you got any help from this video, subbing to the channel would be so amazing. And our final products, gaze into it all. There'll be a lot more of these coming up, because we've already made tons more of drawings, and I'm not making a video directly about printing right now, but we can do any of those later. Well, we have. And here's the big owl. Should have been the colorful one, right? Well, how do we get this on an actual t-shirt garment? Stick around for future videos. Thanks for watching. I gotta bounce.